Apologies, everybody. Apologies, everybody. I kept you waiting for far too long. I am so sorry. Sorry, I'm putting Vaseline on my lips. Okay, we're ready now. We're ready. All right. Let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, because I got this read-through to do, and then we have a PlayStation showcase to look forward to today at 4. So, yo peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back. I always keep adjusting and readjusting my mic. Welcome back to yet another live read-through of One Piece. Today we are going to be going through volume 15 of the series, titled Straight Ahead. So let's just go ahead and dive into it, because I kept you all waiting. Let's see if he has the voice out of sync again. Nope. I was careful this time, Kohagen. But let's go ahead and get this started. The Story of One Piece, Volume 15. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream, and that dream was to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates: Master Swordsman Zoro, Treasure Hunting Thief Nami, Lying Sharpshooter Usopp, and Sanji, the high-kicking chef. Luffy and the crew of the Merry-Go finally reach the Grand Line, and are soon up to their necks in intrigue. Having saved Princess Vivi from the super-secretive criminals of Baroque Works, they vow to return her to her kingdom, so that she can defuse a rebellion instigated by the mysterious Mr. Zero. But when the princess accidentally reveals Mr. Zero's secret identity, the Straw Hat Pirates suddenly find themselves at the top of Baroque Works' hit list. Their first stop en route to Alabasta is the strange island of Little Garden. There they find two giant warriors locked in a century-long battle of honor. But the battle is cut short by the machinations of Baroque Works agents, who want to collect a huge bounty for the Brobdingen... What? What is this word? This is not a real word. What? Okay, I'm looking at it. My brain is trying to process it, and even now, I can't even put it together. It's Brobdingnagian? Brobdingnagian? What? I've never seen that word before. My brain says 404 error, can't compute. What in the world? Is this even a real word? But the battle is cut short by the machinations of Baroque Works agents who want to collect a huge reward for the Brobdingnagian combatants. Don't even try. Brobdingnagian. For the Brobdingnagian combatants. Infuriated by this dastardly act, Luffy and crew clobber the criminals. But can the Straw Hats survive on Little Garden until their log post resets a whole year from now? It basically means gigantic. It just basically means gigantic. Then just say gigantic. Okay. We're going to be going through chapters 127 all the way to 136. Chapter 127, Snailophone. Django's Dance Paradise, Volume 2. First, Know Your Place, as it shows the Black Cat pirates sailing off in the distance without Django. And then there's just a massive amounts of waterworks that shoots up into the air. And it's Broggy who's just crying his eyes out. And it's so large that it creates a pool, like a pool underneath the rest of the Straw Hats. Even his tears are gigantic, Nami. They're like a waterfall. Zoro. Look, a rainbow! Luffy. Ah! Karoo.
My ears!
Vivi.
I know how Broggy feels!
And Usopp is saying this while also tearing up as well. And Broggy is just crying his eyes out constantly until he gets surprised, and so does everyone else as we see Dory sit up. Like Broggy launches to the side after seeing him like, ah! And everyone's eyes goes like 5 feet away from their faces as they're surprised to see Dory up and about. I must have passed out.
Dory! But
how?
Dory!
Mr. Giant! It must have been the weapons.
The weapons? Oh, I get it. Even weapons forged in Elbaf get worn out in a battle between giants that lasts 100 years.
No, this was Dory saying this. Even weapons forged in Elbaf get worn out in a battle between giants that lasts 100 years.
This is incredible. It's a miracle.
And then Broggy just embraces Dory. Broggy, don't hug me so hard. My wound.
I'm so happy you're alive, old friend.
And then Dory is just laughing. Then Dory is just laughing off to the side while he's also tearing up as well. What miracle. It's no surprise. These weapons haven't been cared for over the last century, and neither have their owners.
This is a glorious day! I give thanks to the gods of Elbaf!
Are you that proud of yourself just for knocking me out?
Idiot, that's not what I meant!
And then he just hits Dory in the side.
Oh!
You hit my wound! And then, Nami's just breathing out a sigh of relief.
You looking for a fight?
Sure, I'll knock you out this time.
You're at it again?
As Dory and Broggy prepare to square off again. Then we cut to Sanji inside the candle house of Mr. 3. Because remember, he got on the phone with someone calling themselves Mr. Zero. Mr. Zero? Isn't Mr. Zero the leader of Vivi's enemies? Then the guy on the other end of the Snellophone is one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And this is Sanji thinking this to himself, of course. You've been gone a long time. Have you accomplished your mission, Mr. 3? Mr. 3? So this is his Snellophone. Now I get it. This is the enemy's camp. The guy who wants to kill Vivi, Mr. 3, is on this island. What a spot. We're still being hunted. I hope the others are okay. Crap. Why do you hesitate? As this person pours some drink into their glass. I asked you a question. Have you eliminated Princess Vivi and the Straw Hats? And then Sanji doesn't say anything and he goes, oh yeah, mission accomplished. Everyone who knew your secret has been eliminated, so you can call off the hunt. I see. Good work. The Unluckies are on their way there now to confirm that the job is done and deliver something. Unluckies? Deliver something? The Eternal Pose to Alabasta. I want you to head for Alabasta with Miss Golden Week. The time has come to begin the most crucial part of our plan. Go to Alabasta and await further orders. And then it cuts to the Unluckies. The Unluckies, who are the Vulture and the Otter, who are always zeroing on everyone and taking their pictures for Baroque Works. And they're just sitting there in the window staring at Sanji. Huh? Who are these guys? What's the matter? As the Vulture gets like a gun jetpack on its back, and the Otter, who we always see with the clams, has knives inside of these clams. Nothing. As Sanji dodges away to keep from getting fired upon by the Unluckies. What the heck is that? And then it cuts to the Otter trying to jab at Sanji, but Sanji dodges out of the way. You want to kill me? Just try it, you four-eyed monkey! and then he winds up kicking Sanji winds up kicking the otter, and it just gets dropped by Sanji instantly. Then the vulture aims and tries to fire on Sanji. Now just a darn minute, you overgrown chicken. You never knew that was an otter? You never knew that was an otter? Really? Are you messing with me, or are you serious? It was kind of obvious that it's an otter due to the fact that it's got like the little webbed feet, and also it was holding a clam and always using clams, and that's something you would normally see a lot of sea otters using. Clams and rocks to break open the clams and stuff like that. Did you not know? Oh God, did you not know? Really? You thought it was a cat? With some really big feet. I can see it. I can understand. But it was an otter. It's an otter. And then Sanji kicks the vulture in the face. Now just a darn minute, you overgrown chicken. And winds up hitting the vulture directly in the face, knocking it out as well. Then Mr. Zero speaks on the other end of the Dendenmushi. What's going on? Oh, nothing. Really. Turns out the Straw Hats were still alive. But it's okay, I finished them. Really. Still alive, you say? And then this person just places their hands on a flower that has places their hands on a flower that's sitting in like a drink glass, and then the drink starts to drain out. And as he's speaking, the plant they're holding in their hands, it starts to just instantly die. Still alive, you say? Didn't you just tell me the mission was accomplished? Yes, I thought it was, but they weren't as dead as I thought. In other words, you gave me a false report. Well, you make it sound bad, but I finished them for good this time, so there's no need to send anyone else after them. Okay? Anyway, you're to go straight to Alabasta. And this will be our last electronic communication. We can't have the Navy catching on to us. Hereafter, you'll receive your orders directly as in the past. That is all. I wish you success, Mr. 3. And then this individual, Mr. Zero, closes the phone. And then he goes, Miss All Sunday. Yes? Dispatch Mr. 2 to Little Garden. He hung up. Somewhere between Little Garden and Alabasta, have Mr. 3 disposed of. You're so ruthless, Sir Crocodile. Minions are replaceable. Are you talking back to me? No, I'll do as you say, no problem. And it cuts to Ms. All Sunday as she's just chilling right next to a gigantic crocodile or alligator of some kind. And then it just shows the shadowed face of Mr. Zero. And then it cuts to Sanji again. Just who were these guys? And then Sanji notices the Alabasta Eternal Pose. This is... And then we cut to the Grand Line. Captain Smoker, we just intercepted a very interesting transmission. What? And that's the end of chapter 127. We got an SBS, and then we can continue on with chapters 128. Reader. And now, everyone, instead of Oda-sensei, Ms. Valentine will begin the question corner. Welcome, Ms. Valentine. With a banana on its head. Yeah, it's a crocodile. It's a weird crocodile gator creature that has like a weird banana-shaped growth on its head that apparently is edible? It's weird. It's really weird. Valentine.
Let the question corner begin.
Oda. Sure. Question. Hey, John, here's the secret of tempura. It was originally a Portuguese word, but it has no real meaning. Long ago, the Japanese just wrote down what the Portuguese said phonetically. It's a loan word. If there's anything else you don't understand, just ask me. All-knowing Himiko from Yamaguchi. Answer. Wow, amazing. All-knowing Himiko really knows all. Here's a question for all-knowing Himiko. In the panel below from page 51 of volume 1, why are the 3 scars missing? And why, even though many readers have pointed it out, have I never corrected it? There must be some deep significance to it, right? I know. It's a message to young boys and girls to be so cheerful that even their scars go away, right? Nah, sorry, I just forgot. So there was an instance where it shows Shanks and Shanks's flag, and there's another instance where it doesn't have the scars going over its face. But that wasn't something significant. It's just that Oda forgot to redraw the lines over that portion of the face. Now then, everyone, it's time to pick up a pen and do some revisions. Everybody's entitled to a few mistakes, but not this kind. And that is pretty much the end of the SBS. It was just like one question. Chapter 128, Pirate Pride. Play it again. Aye, Captain. Toshigi, come here and listen to this.
What beautiful workmanship! The fine grade sword Kashu. Only on the Grand Line can you find a fine grade sword so easily.
Toshigi, are you deaf, you sword crazy fool?
Aye, huh? What is it, Captain Smoker? Coffee?
As she's like so enamored by looking at this sword that she forgets that, Smoker's calling her. Listen closely to the 2 men talking. We intercepted this message earlier. Ready, Sergeant Toshigi?
Ready.
Black transponder snail, listening device. Collect. Collect. Did you, Princess Vivi and Straw Hats? Yes. Mission accomplished. And this is them apparently jacking into the transmission between Sanji and Mr. Zero.
Straw Hat! The Straw Hats!
Yes, the transmission is garbled, but we can make out 4 key words from this conversation. Princess Vivi, Straw Hats, Mr. Zero, orders directly.
Is this Mr. Zero? Connected to Mr. 11, that dubious swordsman we captured in Lunes recently?
Maybe. If 11 is his code name, he could be getting direct orders from some criminal organization. Mr. Zero, a criminal organization? That's absurd. You're way off the mark. Mr. 11, Baroque Works, Frontier Agent. Then explain those orders we found in your pocket. What? I was sure I burned them. That was. Gotcha. There was nothing in your pockets. And then Wow, Mr. 11. How are you that high of a number? And you are so easily fooled by wordplay. We found this in your pockets. I was sure I got rid of that. Made you look. We never checked your pockets. That's pretty much. Oh boy, he fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. Gotcha. There was nothing in your pockets. Princess Vivi. She's the missing princess of Alabasta. Alabasta is a kingdom in the grip of a rebellion. Do you think a criminal organization and the Straw Hat Pirates are somehow involved? Oh wait, this is just Smoker going. She's the missing princess of Alabasta. And this is Toshigi. Sorry, my misquote.
Alabasta is a kingdom in the grip of a rebellion. Do you think a criminal organization and the Straw Hat Pirates are somehow involved?
I don't know, but this is our first clue to the Straw Hats' whereabouts.
Then are we...
Aye. Contact headquarters and get an eternal pose. Yes, sir! Set a course for the desert kingdom of Alabasta. So Smoker is heading to Alabasta as well. Then we cut back to Little Garden, Island of Giants.
Oh! You little people saved our lives. We want to repay you.
Ha 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 ha! We completely forgot there was a price on our heads. And then it cuts to Vivi.
They only came to this island because of me. Don't say that,
says Nami as she pulls on Vivi's face. And then it cuts to Luffy. She's right, Vivi. Don't worry about it. Want a rice cracker?
Where'd you get those?
And it's the same rice crackers that Miss Golden Week had, oddly enough.
No one's mad at you.
All right, let's have a rice cracker party. Hey, Nami, dance for us. And then it cuts to apparently a whack as Nami hit Usopp on the head, as it cuts to Luffy laughing at him. Gee, Usopp, your eyes are about to pop out.
Idiot.
Again, do it again. And then it cuts back to Zoro. It takes a year for the log post to reset here. That's no good.
I'll say
We're in real trouble.
Goes Nami. And then it cuts to Luffy. Is there anything you can do, Giants? Are you kidding? Even we can't control a log pose. And this is Dory saying it. And then Sanji comes up. Ah, Nami, Vivi, and you guys. You're all safe. Thank goodness. Hey, Sanji.
he wasn't around when we needed him, but he has the nerve to show up now?
And then this is the first time that Sanji is seeing a giant.
What the? Are you Mr. 3?
Hey, how do you know about Mr. 3?
Goes Nami, as she's, she still doesn't have a shirt on, so she just got a bra on, so, Sanji is distracted by that. Who do you think would win in a gunfight, Agent 47 or John Wick? In my opinion, Agent 47 because of expertise. But John Wick has expertise as well. So it would be incredibly difficult. It would probably be a draw because Agent 47 and John Wick, you might as well put them in the same type of caliber when it comes to expertise. I mean, Agent 47 has people who fear him, and John Wick has plenty of people who fear him. He's literally called Baba Yaga. He's literally called the Boogeyman, or at least the person you send to kill the Boogeyman. So everyone knows both Agent 47 and you mean experience. They both have significant experience in their line of work. So it really is a draw. When you think about it, they're all good at all manners of weapons. They're both good at infiltration and sneaking around and getting access to areas that no one should be able to do. It'll be like the subway fight in John Wick 2 and end with a draw. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said before, it'll probably be a draw because they're both extraordinarily skillful assassins. Both of them. Well, hitmen. They're both skillful. Both of them pretty much have the same level of skill and same level of notoriety, so it would probably be a draw. But back to Sanji.
What the? Are you Mr. 3?
Hey, how do you know about Mr. 3?
Ooh, Nami, you're beautiful! Because, Sanji is ogling Nami in just a bra.
You mean a little while ago you spoke with Mr. Zero?
And then it cuts to Sanji, because this is Vivi talking to him. Sanji says,
"That's right, he thought I was Mr. 3.
And you told him we were all dead?
That's what I told him.
Baruch Works is off our trail, but we're still stuck on this island.
We're stuck. What's to keep us here, now that we have this?"
And then he holds up the eternal pose to Alabasta. The very thing they need. Because they originally, they were going to be stuck there on Little Garden for a year for the regular log pose. To fully set. And then everyone's mouth just drops over seeing that Sanji has the eternal pose to Alabasta.
Huh? What?
The eternal pose to Alabasta! You found it! Now we can go! Thank you, Sanji. I'd almost lost hope.
And then Vivi just embraces Sanji. It was nothing. I don't know. I didn't know you'd be so happy. And then Sanji, just grateful that a woman is just hugging him, is just like heart eyes and everything. All right, it's rice cracker party time.
Hey, this won't work. We only have 3 rice crackers.
The party can wait. Let's go, Captain. There's no time to waste.
Oh, by the way, you haven't forgotten about our hunting challenge, have you?
Oh, that? I won. I bagged a huge rhino.
A rhino? I hope it's edible.
Hunting challenge?
Hunting challenge?
And both Dory and Braga are all like, hunting challenge? Hey, you roly-poly giants! We have to go! You like this old design of Nami? You prefer it over the current one? I hear people say that all the time.
Oh, you seem to be in a hurry. It's sad to see you go, but I won't stop you.
I hope you're able to save your kingdom.
Thank you.
Goes Vivi. Don't kill each other, giants! Just wait. Just wait. Mine's definitely bigger. We'll see. Sanji and Zoro still trying to go back and forth over who bagged the biggest animal.
Goodbye, masters! One day I shall go to Elbaf!
This is another proclamation. This is another proclamation from Usopp, who wants to go to Elbaf. And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy.
Our friends are about to set sail on the Eastern Sea.
We can't let them go by themselves with that monster out there.
How's your wound, Dory?
I'll live. My axe and your sword have had good lives.
Have you any regrets?
Of course. This axe has been my partner in battle for over 100 years, but... Oh, wait.
Of course.
Have you any regrets?
Of course. This axe has been my partner in battle for over 100 years, but if it's to help those people, it's well worth it.
Then it's settled. And they both get up. And then it cuts to Sanji and Zoro, who are arguing over who bagged the biggest animal.
Take a good look. My lizard wins.
Are you blind? My rhino's bigger.
Who cares? They both look good to eat.
Who cares? They both look good to eat.
You shut up!
Because Luffy's all like, meat is meat. Doesn't matter who got the biggest piece, as long as we got it. And then it cuts to Nami.
How long are you two going to keep bickering? Just cut them up and load as much as you can. It's time to sail.
All right, Nami. Right. Usopp, mine's bigger, right?
Huh?
I don't care.
And then Vivi,
can't you call it a draw?
There are no draws in a challenge.
And then it cuts to Nami going,
if we sail straight ahead, that'll take us to the east of the island.
Hey, can't we carry any more meat?
That's all the ship will hold. Do you want to sink us?
Hey, look, the giants! They came to see us off! And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy, who are standing on the edge of the island where the Straw Hats are able to, get out to sea. Can't they just weigh them? I mean, I don't think they even have a scale on the ship. Just load it up as much as you can. We've never been told how much the Mary can carry in terms of payload. That's one thing that we've never known. So no, they can't weigh them because they're not the type to weigh anything. But it cuts to Dory and Broggy. And Broggy speaks first.
There's one big reason that you little people can't reach the next... There's one big reason that you little people...
can't reach the next island.
What?
And then it cuts to the flag, and then it cuts to Dory and Broggy again.
You risk your lives to defend our honor. Now, no matter what, we will allow no enemy to trample on our friend's pride. Have faith in us and sail straight ahead. No matter what happens, sail straight ahead.
Okay. What are they talking about?
Okay, we'll sail straight ahead.
It's time to say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye. I hope we meet again.
Yes, I hope so too.
As it cuts to Dory and Broggy, who have their weapons out.
Look, up ahead!
And something massive starts to get out of the water. It's so big that it's even bigger than Dory and Broggy.
There it is, the Island Eater. You will give way. The honor of Elbaf is at stake.
And both Dory, I love the face that both Dory and Broggy are giving right now. They have the most, they're like, Broggy with his ever-present cheese on his face. He's just like,
the honor of Elbaf is at stake.
Like, I love the way that Broggy's face looks in this one panel. Oh my goodness, I'm just a sucker for good art. But that's the end of chapter 128. Onwards to chapter 129. Django's Dance Paradise, Volume 3, The Onion appears. And it cuts to Onion from Usopp's disbanded Usopp Pirates, seeing Django eaten inside of the tavern. And he's just eating a whole bunch of food. He's got fish, he's got omelets, he's got some eggs and fries, he's got bowls of rice. I'm hungry. I need something to eat. I'm hungry. And then it cuts back to Dory and Broggy when they were speaking.
We will allow no enemy to trample on our friend's pride. Have faith in us and sail straight ahead.
And then it cuts to like a giant fish, pretty much just as big as Laboon, popping up out of the water.
Something big came out of the sea! The sea monster!
And then it cuts to Nami going,
Turn the ship! Hurry, or we'll be eaten! What the? It's a huge goldfish! Huh? A giant goldfish? I think I heard of this somewhere.
and he says this, but isn't this the same type of goldfish he made up in a story to tell Kaya? And it turns out that it's real. Ain't this the same type of goldfish he was talking about in his made-up stories? But I bet he had no idea that an actual giant goldfish exists. Interesting.
A giant goldfish? I think I've heard of this somewhere. Usopp, turn the wheel! I can't. We're gonna sail straight ahead. Right, Luffy?
Right, of course.
Don't be insane. This isn't like Laboon.
I know. Don't panic. Here, have the last rice cracker.
No, thank you. Forget that and turn the ship or we'll...
Nami, resign yourself.
And then it cuts to Karoo hiding inside of the Mary. And it cuts to Nami reluctantly eating a rice cookie.
Luffy, are you sure we can trust those giants?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious? Are you really going to sail straight into that monster's mouth? Oh no, it's too late!
And then Nami is screaming out, and then it cuts to the fish as it prepares to chomp on them. And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy. Yeah, the fish gets closer and closer to swallowing the Straw Hat crew. And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy.
Island Eater, you overgrown goldfish.
It's not just that he's huge. The monster eats whole islands, and his poop is truly colossal.
So really, Usopp's made-up tale was actually true.
Truly, there are as big as islands.
Ho, 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 ho. I almost reminded myself of Jabba the Hutt with that.
Remember the last time we mistook one for a continent and landed on it?
Who could forget that?
Watching this takes me back to the good old days.
As the giant goldfish swallows up the Mary.
The only thing we can't pierce is a snake soaked in blood.
And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy brandishing their weapons right behind them. Them flexing. And then,
behold, the legendary spear of the giants of Elbaf! Straight ahead! Straight ahead! It's too late! We've already been swallowed!
straight ahead! Straight ahead! Hey, this is the title of the volume. And then it cuts to Dory and Broggy with all of their strength, all of their flexing, and they just take that strength and swing their weapons forward. And then there's just silence. And then there's a massive there's an explosive shockwave as they both scream out,
Hakoku sovereignty!
And the attack that they just used bores a hole straight through this giant goldfish, also launching the Mary outside of it. Shockwave so large that it parts the ocean and carves a clean hole from bottom to top of this giant goldfish. This is the power of the giants of Elbaf. And then the Mary is sent flying in the air, with Luffy just enjoying the whole ride. Yahoo! We're flying out! Don't turn! Go straight ahead! It's huge! So huge!
He blasted a hole right through it! That's the power of the warriors of Elbaf!
And Usopp is just like man crying. He's not like scared crying or sad crying. He's just shedding man tears after seeing the strength of the warriors of Elbaf. And then the Mary lands. And in the process of both Dory and Broggy using Hakoku sovereignty, they scream out, "May good fortune accompany you!" as both of their weapons finally break after 100 years of constant battle. Their weapons finally break. And then it cuts to both Dory and Broggy laughing their hearts out. Then we get some narration. Long ago, a group of ruffians calling themselves the Pirate Giants terrorized the seas. The two leaders of these pirates, Broggy the Red and Dory the Blue, were warriors of unimaginable strength. No ordinary mortal could cross blades with them and live, so they were left to do as they pleased. But one day, a little girl changed all that. And then it cuts to some giants along with Dory and Broggy, many, many years ago.
Did you see what the chiefs caught today? I could hardly believe my eyes.
They each caught a humongous sea monster. Even among the giants of Elbaf, the only ones who can catch such fearsome prey are our chiefs. Amen? Ho, 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 ho. Those might be the biggest ones ever.
I think you're right.
And it cuts to Dory and Broggy and their entire crew just chilling in the mountains. They are using the mountains as like chairs and backrests to sit on. Then it cuts to a little girl who's just looking at them.
Which one is bigger?
Which one?
Look, Broggy, I think mine's a little bigger.
Look, Broggy, I think mine's a little bigger.
Don't kid yourself, mine's almost 2 inches bigger.
What?
What?
Chiefs, please stop! And then it cuts to it. Wow. Oh, okay. So they brought in humongous sea monsters and the skulls. Yo, so Little Garden used to be the island where they settled and chilled out. And the little girl asked them the question of which sea monster was bigger. And those two sea monsters that Dory and Broggy killed wound up being their houses later on, with their skeletons serving as their home. It wasn't a mountain, it was an entire skull. I knew it looked weird, but it wasn't a mountain. It was an entire skull. Okay.
By the way, Broggy, there's something I can't remember.
Same here. Oh, there's the signal.
And then the volcano on Little Garden explodes. But that was a long time ago.
Oh, never mind. Let's just settle this.
Right, we'll work it out later.
Wow, so the real reason why they've been arguing and fighting against each other was because they couldn't remember who brought in the bigger sea monster. That's what they forgot. I'm learning so much. I am learning so much. Oh, good God, I love today. I really do. Meanwhile, the merry-go...
You guys, someday I swear, you guys...
Meanwhile, the merry-go sailed peacefully over the ocean. I almost missed that narration.
You guys, someday I swear, I'm going to Elbaf, to the village of warriors!
All right, Usopp, let's do it! Let's go to the land of the giants! Elbaf! 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 Everyone's huge, cause they're giants!
They're sure in a good mood,
goes Nami.
I'm still exhausted from that adventure. Vivi, can you keep an eye on the log pose?
And then it cuts to Vivi, who's directly next to Nami.
Now finally you can go home. If we don't run into trouble, between here and Alabasta, that is.
And Nami doesn't say anything until right now.
Yes, I've got to get home and save my kingdom.
And then it cuts to Igaram talking to Vivi.
You're the only one, princess. Your father, the king, is powerless now. The people must hear the truth from your lips, or this violence will not end. You must live. Whatever sacrifices must be made, even if you must betray others, you must live, no matter what. Princess Vivi, do you have the resolve to stay alive?
I will live and return to Alabasta.
And then Sanji walks in.
No need to worry, Vivi. You have me. Petite Four, they're my treat of the day, and there's a choice of coffee or tea.
Sanji?
And then it cuts to Luffy it cuts to Luffy and Usopp, who are drooling over the food that Sanji brought out.
Yum!
Yours is in the kitchen.
Yay! As both Luffy and Usopp break for the kitchen. Then it cuts to Zoro, who's training on his own.
It's 2,603. 2,604. If I'd been able to destroy that candelabra, we wouldn't have been delayed so long. 2 lakhs.
And then it cuts to Zoro, who's lifting a long weight with 100 kilogram weights on it. And he has 5. So he's basically lifting 500 kilograms. And he's just training with it. And he's just doing sword exercises with it. Like he's lifting it over his head and then swinging it forward. 500 kilograms. Now, being an American, and since we don't use kilograms as a way to tell weight, 500 kilograms would be 1,102 pounds. So he's just casually practicing his sword exercises, lifting... How much is a ton? Okay, he's lifting a little more than a ton. Because a ton is 900 and... Wait, no. No, he's not. He's not. I can't even read. He's lifting 500 kilograms. A ton is 907 kilograms. I'm getting my pounds, and I understand why people go with... I understand why people go with kilograms, because going back and forth between pounds and kilograms is so confusing. Why? Why is it like this? I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted, but he's training. And you see that his leg is bandaged up from him trying to, be in the process of cutting his own leg off in order to fight Mr. 3 and company. So it's like doing kendo. Yeah, you don't use kilograms like normal humans, Kohagen. I feel like you will never let that go. But he's training, so it's like doing kendo, pretty much.
I have to get strong enough to shatter steel.
Because he realizes his swords weren't enough to get them through it. Sandy Island Harbor, the Kingdom of Alabasta. Mr. Two Bon Clay! The Swanda is ready! All right, quiet. Why all the fuss? You can't kill Mr. 3 by yourselves.
No way! Even if we attacked all at once, he'd slaughter us. Please help us! It's the boss's orders.
Weaklings, what a pain. And then it cuts to Nami as she goes,
Vivi, I'm sorry. I need some rest. Okay, Nami, I'll watch this ship for you. Go get some sleep.
And before... You wouldn't be me if you wouldn't let it go? Yeah, don't stop being you, Kohagen. Don't stop being you because it's hilarious. But before Nami can even get up, she falls over. As she tells Nami,
go get some sleep.
And she looks at Nami and goes,
oh, everyone come quickly. This is bad.
And then it gets the attention of Zoro and Luffy. What's wrong, Vivi? As he's stuffing his face full of food.
It's Nami. She's burning up with fever.
And that's the end of chapter 129. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 130. Question. I have a question. In volume 12, page 31, what are they doing with that barrel? Vivi fan number 017. Answer. They kicked open the lid of a beer barrel to celebrate reaching the Grand Line. It's sort of a one-piece sailing ceremony. I wanted to show more, but this was the end of the 100th chapter, The Legend Begins. And I didn't have much time, but isn't it kind of cool anyway? It is. First, there's an opening ceremony before the shipbuilding begins. Then there's a completion ceremony when the ship is finished. And finally, there's a huge celebration and a christening when the ship is launched. So the most exciting ceremony is the ship's birthday or christening. One of the rituals is the striking of a champagne bottle against the bow of the ship. If the bottle doesn't break, it's a bad omen. So the person throwing the bottle has to be very serious about it. I've heard that Viking sailing ceremonies included the spilling of sacrificial blood on the ship. Thank God that we don't live in those times anymore, because they ain't getting my blood. But that's the end of the SBS. Chapter 130, Maximum Speed. Django's Dance Paradise Volume 4. Pursuit! Usopp's Security Force. As Django is run out of town by Onion, Pepper, and... Carrot. Almost drew a blank on his name. But he's ran out of town. And then it cuts to Sanji, who's crying his eyes out, going,
Is Nami gonna die? Is she, Vivi?
It's probably the climate. One of the dangers you encounter upon entering the Grand Line is sickness caused by the extreme weather. Even the most notorious pirates who sail the seas can suddenly get sick and die. It's a common occurrence. Even a little cold can kill you if you're not careful. Is there anyone on board who knows a little medicine? And then both Usopp and Luffy point that it's Nami who knows the most about medicine, and she's currently under duress. And then Sanji's just crying his eyes out. She needs to eat some meat. That'll cure her, right, Sanji?
Well, I'll cook up something she can eat. That's basic care you'd give any sick person, but it won't necessarily make her well. Up to now, I've taken extra care in the preparation of Nami and Vivi's meals. I've made sure they were well balanced and had meat and vegetables. If something was going bad, I feed it to you guys.
Hey! It all tasted pretty good, though. So you mean to tell me that Sanji is always feeding the guys any food that's going bad, but giving the best food to Nami and Vivi? You simp. You massive simp.
Anyway, as long as I'm the ship's cook, you don't have to worry about basic nutrition. However, there are all sorts of special foods that are good for different diseases, but I don't know what she's got.
Then feed her all of them.
That's a good way to make a healthy person sick.
104 degrees! Her fever's getting worse! There's sure to be a doctor in Alabasta, right? How much farther is it, Vivi?
I'm not sure, but it'll take us at least a week. Does it hurt to be sick?
Don't know.
And then it shows both Usopp and Sanji going,
Don't know. I've never been sick.
Are you?
Simpchi. Sanji the Simp. Simp Leg Sanji. That's his name. Simp Leg Sanji.
Are you people even human? Of course it hurts. A fever of 104 is catastrophic. It could kill her.
And then it cuts to both Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji just screaming out loud because they don't know what to do.
Nami's gonna die?
Nami, please don't die! And this is Sanji crying.
Ah!
And Usopp is just running around screaming.
Stop running around and be quiet.
We gotta find a doctor and have him cure Nami.
Right, I know, but calm down. The noise isn't good for her.
And then it cuts to Nami as she goes,
It's no good.
Oh,
Nami.
hey, she's better.
Don't be stupid.
As, Luffy gets popped in the head by Usopp because there ain't no way that Nami's cured that quickly.
In my desk, there's a newspaper.
And then it cuts to the outside of the Mary, and then Zoro's just looking. Smooth sailing ahead. As he's just lifting a big old massive dumbbell sitting on the railing of where everyone is at. He's just sitting on a railing, just lifting this massive weight that's almost as big as his own torso.
It can't be.
What's wrong?
Is it about Alabasta, Vivi?
This is terrible. 300,000 soldiers have defected from the Royal Army and joined the rebels. The Royal Army used to have 600,000 men, and the Rebel Army had 400,000. This changes everything.
And then it cuts to Nami, still sick.
Now the violence in Alabasta will intensify. The newspapers from 3 days ago. I'm sorry. Letting you see that wouldn't make the ship go faster, and I didn't want you to worry, so I hid it from you. Do you understand, Luffy?
I get the feeling it's pretty bad.
It is. I'm glad to see you're actually taking this seriously.
You need to see a doctor, Nami!
I'm fine. That thermometer must be broken. It's impossible to have a temperature of 104. It was probably just sunstroke. I don't need to see a doctor. We have to stick to the plan and head straight for Alabasta. Thanks for worrying about me.
And she says this while her whole face is flushed and the air around her is just like she's sweating all over. So she's not fooling anybody. And then it cuts to Luffy as he goes, hey, is she really better?
She always has to be so strong.
And then it cuts to Vivi going,
if I don't do something, the kingdom will be engulfed in a bloody war. I have to prevent it at all costs, or it will mean the end of Alabasta. Crocodile will take over. I don't just have to get home alive, but as soon as possible. I've got to get home or 1 million of my people will kill each other in a senseless war.
1,000,000 people? Vivi, you have a heavy weight on your shoulders. As then this Sanji going.
Hey, what are you looking at? Hey, what are you looking at?
What? The ship's going straight ahead.
Straight ahead according to what? You have to look at the log posts.
I don't need to. I just follow that big cloud over there.
Don't you know that clouds move and change shape?
Never allow Zoro to be your driver. Or to direct you anywhere. Ever.
Don't you know that clouds move and change shape? Oh, I can't take this. My head hurts.
Just leave it to me and get some sleep.
I would if I could, but that would be suicide.
And then it cuts to Nami, who's struggling to stand. She does not look well.
The air is different.
The air?
It's been nice and sunny all day. Never mind, call the others.
Hey, you guys, come out here. Time to work. We're gonna make a turn to the south. I don't take orders from you. Shut up and get to work. Hoist the sails and catch the wind to port.
Right,
Goes Usopp. It's Sanji's all like, I don't take orders from you. You do realize Zoro's the first mate, right? He's next to Luffy. He's the only one who can really give orders. You old simp. What's going on, Nami? The sea's calm and the sky's clear.
The wind. There's a big wind coming up ahead, I think.
And then it cuts to Luffy, who puts his hand on Nami's forehead.
Huh?
Ouch! You're hot! We have to get you to a doctor!
That's not necessary. This is my normal temperature. So stop acting stupid and pull a rope.
Nami, I want you to help Vivi, but if you overexert yourself...
I said I'm fine. Hey, Nami, you'd better just hurry up and turn this ship.
And then it cuts to Nami, struggling to stand. She's really fighting this sickness that's on her just to try and to direct everyone. And then she looks back.
What's that? It doesn't sound like the wind.
And then it cuts back to Vivi, back inside, still looking at the crumpled up newspaper about what's happening to her kingdom.
I have to get back to Alabasta as soon as possible. Everyone, I need to ask a favor of you. I know this is selfish of me, after all you've done already, but my country is in grave peril, and I've got to get back right away. There's not a moment to spare, so I want you to sail this ship at maximum speed and head straight for Alabasta.
And then it cuts to everyone listening to Vivi, and then it cuts to Nami as she goes,
Of course, we promised you we would.
And then Sanji doesn't say anything, and then Luffy doesn't say anything.
So let's look for an island with a doctor as soon as possible. If we want to get to Alabasta, we need to get Nami well, so we can get there faster.
And then Luffy, realizing what's going on, is all like, Okay, absolutely. This ship can't go any faster than that.
Are you sure about this? What about those 1,000,000 people of yours? I'm sure. That's why we need to make Nami well quickly.
Well said, Vivi. I like you. Because everyone was wondering, why is she asking us to go to Alabasta and Nami's not feeling well? And she's saying, I need to get to Alabasta, but in order for us to fully get there faster and in the shortest distance possible, we need our navigator to be well. So let's find an island and get her taken care of so we can get to Alabasta faster. Because when you think about it, it'll take them longer to get to Alabasta without Nami than them getting to Alabasta with her. So of course, it's a far more logical decision than to find someone to take care of Nami so that they don't waste time trying to sail on their own. Well said, Vivi. I like you. You've got a big heart.
Thanks for your concern. But Nami, don't push yourself so hard. Sorry, Vivi. I think I'm not completely well yet.
You literally just got out of bed after being told that you're sick. Of course you ain't well.
Ah! What the heck is that?
And then it cuts to a massive cyclone that's directly behind Luffy and company.
It's a cyclone! Huh? Nami, hang on! It's enormous! Wait a minute. That direction. That's the direction we were sailing in before we turned. If we continued on that course, we'd have sailed right into it.
What a close call! We barely missed it! Had it not been for Nami coming out of that room and telling Zoro to turn them in a different direction, they would have sailed directly into that cyclone, and that probably would have been the end of the Straw Hats. Because the cyclone was big enough, the cyclone was pretty much as big as that giant goldfish that tried to eat them before Dorian Broggy killed it. That's how big it was. Had they sailed into it, they probably would have died.
Amazing. They say the cyclones on the Grand Line happen without warning. And yet, this girl doesn't just use the wind and sky to predict the weather. It's as though she feels it in her bones. I've never seen a seafarer like her.
All right, let's hurry. We're gonna head south. We gotta find a doctor. Aye, aye. And then everyone concurs. Then we get some narration. And so, ignoring the eternal pose that pointed the way to Alabasta, they sailed the merry-go in search of a doctor. And the very next day, it cuts to Snowfall.
Vivi, what do we do? Nami's fever isn't going down.
Sanji, Karoo, be quiet.
Then it cuts to someone in the crow's nest, and it's Zoro. Hey, see any doctors?
You expect us to find a doctor out here?
Hey guys, take a look. Is that somebody standing out there?
And that's the end of chapter 130. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 131. Question! Mr. Ichiro, please, give me something, a personal possession of yours. Answer: I don't think so. You think Oda's just gonna willingly give something that he cherishes? A personal possession? He's just gonna give it away? He'll probably give you like a bookmark, but even then you can't do that. Question! Oda-sensei, hello, how do you do? In school right now, there's a rumor going around that you're a dog. A poodle, actually. Is that true? And then Oda just plays along and goes, bow wow wow, bow wow wow, wow wow, bow wow, wow wow, bow. Translation: how could I be a dog? Bow wow. Okay, next. Question: where do they sell men's spirits? By the way, I already bought a woman's spirit from a secondhand shop. Answer: really? Question: Oda-sensei, I've been wondering about something for a long time. What are Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji's birthdays? Please tell me. Answer: I get this question a lot, so I guess I should answer it. Luffy, May the 5th. Zoro, November 11th. Nami, July the 3rd. Wow, her birthday is right before the 4th of July. Interesting. Usopp, April 1st. Of course. Of course his birthday would be on April Fool's Day. Sanji, March the 2nd. At least 21 days before mine. Happy birthday. Was that too easygoing of me? All those who think I was too easygoing, raise your hands. Wow, 1 million people. Ah, well, what's done is done. I don't hear any complaints. Go tell your parents. And then the last question. Question: do you believe in Kappa, water spirits? Answer: of course. They're all over the place. Really? Chapter 131, Wapple of Tin. Django's Dance Paradise Volume 5, Getaway Dance. As it cuts to Django on a small boat sailing away from Carrot, Onion, and Pepper. And then we cut to the Mary sailing into a massive blizzard right now. Somebody standing on the water?
That's impossible, Zoro!
Then what's that out there?
What? Where? And then we see this individual who's just standing out, apparently out on the ocean. And it's this tall dude. It's this tall dude that has this quivery lip type expression on his face and a massive jacket on with like a bow and arrow on behind him. And then both Usopp and Luffy are rubbing their eyes because they can't believe it. They honestly can't believe that there's someone out there. And then it just cuts to the Mary getting closer and closer to this individual. And they're just staring at each other. And then the person speaks.
Boy, sure is cold today.
Yeah, sure is, Luffy.
Uh-huh, it's cold, all right.
Really?
And then they're just staring at each other. And they're not saying anything. And then it cuts to someone screaming, "Increase buoyancy! Increase buoyancy!" Oh, wait, wrong voice. I just gave it to the dude with the quivery lip.
Increase buoyancy!
Aye, sir! And then this massive ship pops up out of the water in front of the Mary.
What's that? Whoa, a watermelon? Why's the ship shaking?
Hold her steady. If anything happens to Nami, I'll throw you overboard.
And it cuts to Sanji, who's holding up. This bro needs to stop. This man is holding up Nami's bed and keeping it steady by balancing Nami and her entire bed on his leg. Just to make sure that she doesn't, get jostled around. He's just balancing Nami on one leg. Just stop.
Hold her steady. If anything happens to Nami, I'll throw you overboard.
And it cuts to Nami, who's just like in the bed still sleeping.
That can't be it. That can't be. A ship?
And then it cuts to the ship, letting some parts of it fall down. And it kind of transforms. And it turns into like a massive ship.
Were you surprised? By blicking my giant submersible attack ship?
Gosh darn it, a pirate ship!
Wow.
We don't have time for this, goes Zoro. Vivi, take over here.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
And then it cuts to Sanji, who gets outside and he lights another cigarette.
So, what happened?
That ship attacked us.
I thought it was something like that, from the looks of it.
Hey, we're in a hurry, because it shows that Luffy and everyone are being held at gunpoint by just like a huge battalion of people that are on the Mary right now.
4 of you! Can't be just the 4 of you! Never mind!
As this individual is eating some meat off of a knife, and then also eats the knife.
Never mind! I got a question.
Wapple of Tin, captain of the Tin Tyrant Pirates.
Who is that guy? He just ate that knife!
And they're just seeing him eat the knife itself.
Ugh, my mouth hurts just watching him!
We want to go to the Drum Kingdom. Do you have an eternal pose or a log pose?
Nope.
And we've never heard of that place either.
So if you're done, go away.
It's not good to rush through life. If you don't have either of those items, we'll take your treasure and your ship instead.
And then it cuts to Wapple as he goes,
just a moment, I'm still a bit hungry.
And then his mouth gets really huge and he bites onto a part of the Mary. And he just starts eating that part of the Mary.
What?
And he just eats the wood and all.
What the heck is this guy?
He's eating our ship!
Yum! An anchor rope!
And then it cuts to Luffy, who's preparing to move, as it cuts to a person going, "Don't move, you! Captain Wapple's eating!"
Shut up!
As Luffy turns around and just bashes this dude in the head.
Why that dirty? Fire!
And then it cuts to all the men preparing to fire on Luffy and everybody else. And then Zoro goes,
"That's what we should have done from the start."
"What? We can fight?" And then it shows Sanji, who's smiling. And then it cuts to Usopp, who's hiding, as they open fire on basically everyone.
Wait! Can't we talk this out? We can talk this out!
And then it cuts to gunfire that's happening on the Mary. And then it cuts to the dude with the quivery lips going,
They're fighting us.
"Those fools, they rush into their deaths."
Says a man with like a big afro and also connected sideburns that goes into like 3 different puffs of hair on his face.
"Those fools, they rush into their deaths."
Gunfire? Karoo, watch Nami! I'll be right back.
Oh!
And then it cuts to Sanji, who's fighting people going,
"You're not so tough. Reception!"
And using like a backwards kick, he slams this dude's face into the ground. And then it cuts to numerous other people who get cut down by Zoro as he goes,
"They're all show."
"Captain Wapple, these guys!"
This ship is tasty."
Hey, how much are you going to eat?
And then it cuts to Wapple. looking back going, huh?
Hey, you!
Ha ha ha! You dare to challenge Captain Wapple? He'll devour you with the power of the Munch Munch fruit!
And then it cuts to Wapple, who opens his mouth as he prepares to chomp down on Luffy.
Luffy!
And then it cuts to, it turns out that Luffy got eaten by Wapple, but his arms are way, way behind him.
Huh? What's this?
Vivi, is Nami all right?
Yes, what's going on?
But it cuts to Luffy's arms that are all the way a great distance away from the ship in a particular pose.
He's too chewy. Why you? Huh?
Take off! As Luffy unleashes a massive gum bazooka that sends Wapple flying in the opposite direction. He kind of also destroys a little bit more of the Sunny. No, he sends Wapple flying. No, he does destroy a little bit of the Sunny by sending not the Sunny, but I meant to say Mary. I keep getting them mixed up. I keep getting it mixed up with another ship. He sends Wapple flying out of the Mary. And then all Wapple's crew can do is just look on.
Captain Wapple?
That man.
And that's the end of chapter 131. SBS. Question. How about an elephant-sized radish? I caught it myself. An ultra-Canadian man. Answer. Looks delicious. Thank you. Crunch, 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 crunch. Oh, huh? Oh. Crunch, 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 crunch. Nom, 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 nom. Question. Hello, Mr. Oda. How are you? Listen, I was assigned to write about my aspirations, so I asked my teacher if my topic could be that my second wish is to become a pirate, and my teacher said, get serious. I am serious. Salary. Answer. Of course you're serious. Who joke about a thing like that? You ask that teacher of yours what's wrong with being a plunderer, okay? Oh, that's gonna lead to a parent-teacher conference. Question. I was watching the One Piece anime the other day, the adaptation of Volume 7, Chapter 57, If You Have a Dream, where Zeph loses his leg. It said that Zeph lost his leg in a shipwreck. Was that changed for the sake of the little kids who watch the show? Answer. Exactly. An episode titled Eat Your Own Leg might be too much for little children. Television audiences can number in the millions and special precautions have to be taken. Kudos to the animators who create such wonderful works while being careful about things like that. If you want to show them your appreciation, send them a letter. It will cheer them up. It's just another example of censorship because it's not just, adults and young adults who watch One Piece. Kids watch it too. So of course things even in Japan are still censored because of the children. Because children watch a lot of anime as well. So you got to be careful with that. Chapter 132. See? SEE with a question mark. You remember well about that? Yeah. We were talking about it. We were talking about it when that moment happened in the volume. Where it was just essentially, oh wow, this was completely changed in the anime. Or this was completely omitted in the 4Kids dub. And, other such instances of censorship. Chapter 132. See? This is Bin Shimoda, Wapple's VA's first appearance in One Piece since he voices many other characters down the line. Ah. Django's Dance Paradise, Volume 6, A Fateful Passing. And it shows Django sleep in his ship opposite of Captain Morgan, who's sleeping in his ship. What if we throw some water on her? Won't that cool her down? And then both Sanji and Vivi hit Luffy with extreme force. Are you crazy? This is bad. The sun's going down, Vivi.
I know. We have to drop anchor somewhere. Without Nami to navigate, we can't sail at night.
And then it cuts to nighttime as Nami sits up. And she's still sweating, she's still feverish, and she sees everyone else just sleep out right next to her to make sure she's okay, including Vivi, who's right up on her bed as well. And she sits up, she sees everyone, and she just pulls the covers back on her. She goes right back to sleep.
Cold. So cold. The moon will be full soon.
Then it cuts to Usopp with Karoo in the morning as They're making repairs to the Mary.
I wonder who they were.
Huh?
Those guys yesterday. I never heard of this Wapple before, but that ship of his was awesome.
Who cares? Who cares? Forget about him.
Captain Wapple! This is terrible! Captain Wapple's been hurled into space!
It's a catastrophe! Captain Waffle can't swim!
Then before he sinks and drowns,
we gotta rescue him!
Remember us! We'll get you for this! Just you wait!
Remember us! Exactly, even they had to censor how Zeph lost his leg. Also, hey Ozzy, what's going on? Good to see you. We're pretty much more than halfway through this volume already. Such a good time. And then later at 4, the biggest showcase since 2021 is happening. And I'm probably going to start the stream 5 minutes earlier so we can talk about what we can expect from the PlayStation Showcase today. But just to put it into perspective, I'm taking a quick break before I continue reading. Just to show you just how long it's been since we've seen anything major from Sony be showcased. The last time we had a PlayStation Showcase was in April of 2021, and during that time, not only did we see the very first trailer of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, but we also saw God of War Ragnarok and the announcement trailer of Wolverine. And that has kept people going ever since then. This is the brand newest PlayStation Showcase that they're going to be showing off today. We got Marvel Spider-Man 2 showed off, along with Wolverine and God of War Ragnarok. Can you imagine what we're going to get today? And the showcase is a little over an hour as well, so that's over an hour of new reveals. If they show Spider-Man 2, and if they show even the slightest glimpse of gameplay, I'm going to be screaming. I'm just letting you know now, there will be screaming. Happy screams, in fact. But it cuts back to those two individuals that were with Wapple. Remember us!
You'll remember this!
Remember us! Remember! And then it cuts to Sanji. They're just a bunch of idiots. Nothing to worry about. Never mind them. The weather's been unusually stable. Stable lately. Stable but cold. And then it cuts to Usopp, who's hammering in some supports in order to fix the holes that Wapple chewed through.
Yeah, it's not even dependably unpredictable here. This sea.
It's a sign that there's land nearby. Sanji, keep a sharp lookout.
Vivi.
We must be approaching a winter island.
A winter island?
Climatically, the islands of the Grand Line can be divided into 4 types: summer islands, spring islands, autumn islands, and winter islands. And each of these islands generally has 4 seasons. In other words, when you sail the Grand Line, at the very least, you will have to endure 16 seasons, beginning with summer on Summer Island and ending with winter on Winter Island.
So, for a summer island, you have summer, spring, autumn, winter. On a spring island, you have summer, spring, autumn, winter. On autumn island, you have summer, spring, autumn, winter. And on winter island, you have summer, spring, autumn, winter. So, despite the numerous islands that are just made for one way, you're still going to have to endure the same type of weather phenomena for those specific types of islands. Hey there, Kohagen, and greetings, fellow Kyushu Knights. Greetings to members of the Continuum. I've never figured out like a full word to call you all. Like, I know Game Grumps has lovelies and other people have like names for their audiences, but I never really came up with a name for all of you guys. I just call it the community for just to encompass everyone, but I never had a specific name for all of you guys. Like, what do you call yourselves over the YouTuber that you follow? Kyushuites? That seems a little bit on the nose, but I mean, I think of members of the Continuum. That's just something that's been popping up in my head from time to time. You're actually job hunting, but right now you're here to enjoy the greatness that is One Piece. Well, allow me to help you enjoy One Piece even more, Ozzy. Also, thank you once again for just being a member and doing what you do to support this channel. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate everything you all do for me. So you guys are a blessing to me. So thank you for being who you are.
Of course, there are exceptions to this, as well as unknown weather patterns.
Nice.
I see.
Or just peoples. Peoples works, because I'm always calling y'all peoples. Yes, Kyushu and his peoples. That works. I'm okay with it. Yeah, y'all just being known as my peoples. Y'all my peoples. That's comfortable for me. I like that. Thank you, Ozzy. Y'all my peoples. Y'all are my peoples.
I see. If there are clusters of islands like that, it's no wonder the sea between them are so turbulent.
Exactly. That's why stable weather means there's an island nearby.
You're right. I see it. An island.
And in the distance, we see an island with some very, very, very tall mountains. An island! Nami, isn't this great? An island! You'll be cured soon! Hold on, I gotta move my mouse out of the way, because it was on chat, and it was blocking it. Nami, isn't this great? An island! You'll be cured soon! And then Luffy kinda wants to go outside and see it for himself, but Zoro's all like, go have a look. Ah, an island! It's so white! It's snow! A snow island!
Just remember, Luffy, we're not here for an adventure this time. We're going to find a doctor for Nami. Then we're leaving immediately. It's no use, he's not listening.
Snow is great!
Wait, are you sure it's safe? If there's snow there, couldn't there be a snow monster? Do we even know if there are people there? Oh no, my don't go on the island disease is coming back!
Snow's so nice and white! Prepare to make landfall. And then it cuts to the Mary getting closer and closer to the snow-covered island. Snow-covered trees and snow-covered mountaintops everywhere. Wow, this is amazing! Look at those mountains!
Wow, this is amazing. Look at those mountains.
And all that snow! I'm in heaven! Luffy is literally losing his mind over seeing snow.
Luffy, aren't you cold dressed like that?
It's only 14 degrees out. That's the temperature at which bears get ready to hibernate.
Huh?
Oh, it's cold! And then I remember this moment in the 4Kids dub when Luffy really finally realizes that he's cold and he goes like, I'm freezing! Like, it's like, there are some rare moments where it's like, 4Kids dub, but it's not like, ha-ha moments, but it's just like, but that's just one I remember as well. There are some moments from the 4Kids dub I can't forget whatsoever. I can't remember. Those cylinder mountains are strange? Yes, they are. Huh? It's cold!
You just noticed? You just noticed!
It's a waterfall of melting snow. I think we can dock our ship here.
Okay, who's gonna go look for a doctor? I guess we could try to find some kind of settlement.
I'll go!
Me too.
Fine, go!
And it cuts to Usopp, who's just willingly staying behind.
Stop right there, you pirates.
Hey, there's people!
They look pretty nasty.
Turn your vessel around and leave. Now.
We came here to find a doctor! We have a sick person aboard!
Don't try your tricks on us, you dirty pirates! This is our country! We'll let no pirates set foot here!
Every once in a while, 4Kids did something right, but they are far and few between. Look, you can find good reasons to play Redfall more than you can find good moments in the One Piece 4Kids dub. Yeah, I said it. Because Redfall is trash. Utter trash. And so is Overwatch. Because ain't no way you're going to take 4 years off to work on something, and then 4 years later, you're going to say, like, nah, we're scrapping it and leaving everybody high and dry. It's not even Overwatch 2 anymore. It's just Overwatch 1.5. That's what it is. And you say, like, oh, no, we still got PvE stuff. Sorry. We will talk about video games when it's time to talk about video games. I won't do it here, because I really want to drag Blizzard Activision through the mud for what they did for Overwatch. I downloaded... No. We will talk about video games when it's time to talk about video games. I'll save it for the 5 minutes before the PlayStation Showcase, because I want to get something off my chest about games like Redfall and Overwatch 2. So I will definitely talk about that during the showcase.
Don't try your tricks on us, you dirty pirates! This is our country! We'll let no pirates set foot here! Now raise your anchor and go, or we'll blast your ship from the water!
And then Sanji,
they really don't like us, and we only just met.
And Zoro doesn't say anything.
Don't talk. Go!
And it cuts to one of them almost hitting Sanji in the foot.
They fired on us!
How dare you?
And then Sanji gets angry. And then Vivi holds him back.
Why
you?
Wait, Sanji!
And then all of a sudden, the gun gets raised, and then Vivi is hit.
Vivi!
You jerks! Take aim!
Stop! Stop! We can't fight them!
And it cuts to Vivi, who's okay enough to grab onto Luffy.
Don't worry about my wound. It's just a scratch. All right, we won't set foot on your island. But can you send us a doctor? Our navigator is very sick. Please help us.
Yo, Robbie, what's going on? And then it cuts to Luffy going, Vivi.
Luffy, you're a failure as a captain. Impulsiveness doesn't solve anything. If you get us all killed, what will happen to Nami?
And it cuts to Vivi as it shows her wound bleeding just a little bit. You're right. Forgive me. I was wrong. Please call a doctor. Please help our friend. And both Vivi and Luffy bow before the citizens of this island. And then they all the citizens who are aiming at Luffy and the crew are looking kind of confused. And then this big individual doesn't say anything. And everyone else is just looking. It's just a bunch of silent looks. You're going to find a lot of that in these chapters of One Piece when there's just a bunch of silent looks. I'll describe it out as best I can.
I'll take you to the village. Come with me.
See? He understands us.
Yeah, you sure are smart.
But I should warn you, there's only one doctor in this country, and she's a witch.
Huh? And that's the end of chapter 132. Onwards to chapter 133. But first, an SBS. Question. When I saw the SBS in volume 13, it was like lightning had struck me. That's because I had always thought that SBS stood for Sugoi Baka Mitaina Section, or Terribly Stupid Section. And I told about 5 of my friends that it meant that. Now what am I supposed to do, huh? Answer. Well, actually, 90% of the questions we receive for the SBS are stupid, sorry, silly, sorry, gags. Not that I mind. Question. I want to say something to Mr. 8. You don't know anything about saxophones. I mean, look at the way you hold your instrument. And that embouchure. At least use a strap. Get it right. Now go, head of the wind instruments department. As a saxophone player myself, yeah, Mr. 8, Igaram, didn't have a strap. He was holding it all wrong. It's like... And he didn't have the proper embouchure, because when you put your lips onto a reed of a saxophone, first the reed has to be wet. And then the way you play it is that you pucker your lips at the tip of it, but not put your mouth all over it like that. Plus you have a strap because saxophones can be a little bit weighty. So the neck strap is to ensure that when you're tired, you can just have it lightly hanging off of your neck while you're supporting it. So, Igaram, you showed improper use of saxophone. Apologize. Answer. Right, I know, he's way off, that guy. That, embouchure thing, too. And the strap, strap, too. And the strip, strap, too. He looks down on the sax. You tell him. Upset. Please teach me all-knowing Himiko. Question. Oda-sensei, I really, really love you. Please marry me. If you won't, then will you answer my questions? Answer, please. Number 1, Gold Roger and red-haired Shanks look pretty tough, but what exactly are the bounties on their heads? And question number 2 is, will you please marry me after all? Oda flying cross chop. This is the end of the question corner. We'll meet again in the next volume. Hiya! Then we cut to chapter 133, Adventure in a Nameless Country. Then we cut to this individual going, this country has no name.
A country without a name? I've never heard of such a thing. Ah! A bear! Everybody play dead!
And then it cuts to this man going, that's just a hiking bear. Because it's basically a giant bear, and it has like its own walking stick. It looks at everyone, just bows his head like, hey, how you doing? And then just keeps walking.
It's not dangerous. Don't forget to bow. It's a mountaineer tradition.
And then everyone just bows to the bear, except for Usopp, who just immediately plays dead at the sight of it. And then it cuts to Zoro. Good, it's all better. And it cuts to his leg that has a stitch in it. Now that you mention it, we never really did see much of Zoro's leg after he got this cut. All the way back when he was fighting Mr. 3 and all the way back when he was trapped. We never did see much of Zoro's legs after this point. Like, not his bare feet or where his leg is, where the scar is from him trying to cut into his own leg. We never really see much of that anymore. Not that we need to, it's just like, interesting. That's just a small thing. Continuing!
Good, it's all better. See?
And then it cuts to Karoo, who's just like shivering because he's cold outside.
Now I can start training for real. I'm sick of taking it easy. And guarding the ship is getting boring too. I think I'll take a mind-clearing midwinter swim.
And Zoro takes off his shoes, and he takes off his shirt as he prepares to, I guess, go swimming in the freezing cold waters of this winter island. The Snow Village, Bighorn.
This is our village.
There are some strange animals walking around here.
Boy, this really is snow country.
Nami, we're in a village with people. We made it, a village.
Thank you, everyone. Except for those on guard duty, you can all go back to work. Will you be all right?
Will you be all right alone? Will you be all right alone, Dalton? They're pirates. Ah, so this person's name is Dalton. We see it when Zoro was training with those giant weights. Was it when he was lifting weights with his feet? I think I remember what you're talking about, Ogata-san. I think I remember. Wow, it's been so long. I am so sorry. No, wait, it wasn't Ogata. It was Kohagen who said that. I'm correcting myself in the midst of correcting myself. Firstly, yeah, we've seen it before when he was weight training with his legs. And yeah, it wasn't Ogata-san who said that. It was Kohagen. My apologies, Kohagen. Continuing on. But this dude's name is Dalton.
Will you be all right alone, Dalton? They're pirates.
I don't think they mean us any harm. Trust me, I feel it in my gut.
They're not real soldiers?
They're all civilians. Please come to my house for now.
Huh? Look, Luffy! The hiking bear!
Again?
Dalton, I heard there were pirates. I heard there were pirates here. Are you all right?
Yes, everything's fine. Don't worry.
Dalton, I'm looking forward to the election in 2 days. Everyone's saying they're voting for you.
No, not me. I'm not worthy. Put her on the bed over there. I'll get the room warmed up. I'll introduce myself. My name is Dalton. I'm the protector of this island. Please forgive our hostile reception.
Now, I'm going to say this. I've always found Dalton's character design extremely cool. Like the hairstyle, the swept back pointed hairstyle, short pointed hairstyle, and that one solitary goatee. Just his overall design, it's just so memorable to me.
Family is always looking out for you, boy.
They're going to get me lunch, which means that I need to continue and get through these chapters. But I've always liked Dalton's design in One Piece. Captain Dalton, Drum Island Civilian Guard.
May I ask you a question?
What is it?
I have the feeling I've seen you somewhere before.
It must be your imagination, but tell us about this witch.
And then it cuts to Dalton lighting a fire in the fireplace.
Her temperature is 107.6 degrees? Her fever's been
rising steadily for 3 days.
If it goes any higher, she'll die.
Yes, but we don't know the cause of her illness or how to treat it.
Look, we just need a doctor. Any doctor. Where's this witch?
The witch. You see those mountains out the window?
Whoa, it's big, and it's really just a big snowman that's outside blocking the view. It's a super snowman!
It's the snow monster Shirora!
You guys are gonna get it!
Because they're blocking Sanji's view from seeing the mountains.
Those mountains are the Drum Rockies. See the castle on the highest peak? Right now, that's a castle without a king.
A castle?
Man, this warms you up.
Yeah, I saw it.
What about it? Goes Vivi.
The only doctor in this country, Dr. Kureha, whom people call the witch, lives there.
What? Why would she want to live up?
Why would she want to live way up there? Anyway, call her down here. It's an emergency. I'd like to, but we have no way of contacting her. What? And she calls herself a doctor? What kind of woman is she? Her skills as a doctor are indisputable, but she's rather eccentric. She's nearly 140 years old. What? 140 and she's still kicking? And let's see, she likes pickled plums. What do the people here do when they get sick or injured? She comes down the mountain whenever she feels like it. Then she looks for patients, treats them, takes whatever she wants in compensation, and goes home.
Sounds like a nasty old lady.
Hey, she's just like a pirate.
But how does a woman that old get down the mountain?
It sounds strange, but I've heard that on moonlit nights she rides a sleigh through the sky and comes down the mountain. Some people even claim to have seen it. That's why they call her a witch. Others say she comes with a strange beast unlike anything they've ever seen.
Ah! I knew it! It's here! See? It's the abominable snowman! After all, this is a snow-covered mountain! I knew she'd be here! I knew he'd be here! A witch and a snow monster! Oh, please don't let me meet up with them!
She's our only doctor, but we don't like to get involved with her if we can help it. It's best just to wait here until she comes down the mountain.
But...
You know, one doctor for an entire country makes no sense.
Then it cuts to Luffy, who's like lightly slapping Nami in the face to wake her up. Hey, Nami! Nami, can you hear me?
What do you think you're doing?
What do you think you're doing? Because Luffy is like slapping her in the face. Hey, she's awake! Listen, the only doctor around here lives on top of a mountain, so we're gonna climb it. I love this dude's just straightforward solutions to everything. Oh, this person's on top of a mountain. We're gonna climb it. He doesn't even second guess himself. He just thinks like, if we can get up there if I climb it. We're gonna climb it. He doesn't waste any moment. He just, without hesitation. Listen, the only doctor around here lives on top of a mountain, so we're gonna climb it.
Don't be ridiculous. What are you trying to do to Nami?
It's okay, I'll carry her on my back.
that will only make her worse.
How come? The sooner she sees the doctor, the better, right?
Well, yes, but it's impossible. Look at how tall and steep that peak is. Look at how tall and steep that peak is.
I can make it.
Even if you can, it's too much for Nami.
A fall from that mountain would kill even a healthy person.
If she does fall, there's soft snow under her.
Her temperature is 9 degrees higher than normal. Do you realize that?
And then it cuts to Nami.
Hey,
Nami!
Nami!
I have to get better right away. I'm counting on you.
As Nami struggles to put her hand up. And then, as she puts her hand up, Luffy slaps it and goes, "Atta girl, Nami, leave everything to me."
I've had it with our captain and with our navigator.
Do you realize how sick you are, Nami?
Okay, give me some meat. Meat?
Nami, are you sure about this? That climb will take many hours.
Fine, then I'm going to.
Keep this in mind. If you lose your footing even once, Nami's gonna die.
Huh? Even once? And then it cuts to Vivi as she goes,
"Wait, don't move. It has to be tied tight." That should do. I'll be waiting here. I'd only be a burden if I came along.
Me too!
All right, hang on tight, Nami. And then it cuts to Nami, who's covered in a jacket, while Luffy's holding tightly onto her and she's tied around his waist as they make their way towards the mountain. If Mohammed doesn't come to the mountain, then the mountain comes to Mohammed. Pretty much. Then we cut to Dalton.
If you're serious about this, I won't stop you, but at least start the climb from the other side. There are lapons on this side. They're vicious flesh-eating rabbits. If you encounter a pack of them, it's certain death.
Rabbits? We're in a hurry. We can handle them, right?
Yeah, I'll kick 'em.
Let's go, Sanji, before Nami dies!
Don't say things like that. It's bad luck, you idiot.
And then it cuts to Dalton, Usopp, and Vivi staying behind.
I hope they'll be all right.
No need to worry about those two.
The question is, will Nami's strength hold up? I hope they make it in time.
And then it just cuts to the mountain.
What's the matter? Come inside, you two. It's cold out here.
And then it cuts to Vivi and Usopp, who stand outside. You know, them getting cold, with Usopp being colder most of all, since you can see the length of his nose turning red from being out there.
That's all right. I'll stay out here for a while.
Me too.
And then Dalton just looks on, and he smiles for the first time in the series. He smiles.
I see. Then I'll keep you company.
And he sits behind them. You like that Luffy still has Bermudas and slaps? Like he did. Yeah.
Long ago, we did have them.
Huh?
Doctors, but circumstances caused them all to leave. Only a few months ago, this country was defeated by pirates.
Huh?
It was?
No wonder everyone was so nervous when we showed up.
Yes, the mere mention of pirates still makes us uneasy. There were only 5 pirates. The captain called himself Blackbeard. They were immensely powerful. We never had a chance. They defeated us before we knew what hit us.
Okay. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to wait.
The captain called himself Blackbeard. They were immensely powerful. We never had a chance. They defeated us before we knew what hit us.
5 pirates? You must be kidding.
Blackbeard? Blackbeard?
But some around here think it was a blessing.
What could be good about a country being defeated?
Yeah, who'd say anything so idiotic?
Until then, this land was ruled by a king, and the people were very unhappy. This land was called the Drum Kingdom, and the king's name was Wapol. He was the worst king ever.
Wapol? I remember now.
Wapol?
And it's the same Wapol that Luffy sent flying earlier during their encounter. How many chapters do I have? Because my family's going out to get food, and I want to eat the food while it's hot. Okay, we got 3 more chapters, including the one that's coming up. That ends with them realizing that Wapol apparently used to be the king of the Drum Kingdom. Chapter 134, Dr. Kureha. Django's Dance Paradise. Outside issue report. Kaya is now a doctor's apprentice and doing fine. You love to see it. Kaya's no longer sick. She's much better. She's out there walking. She's become a doctor's apprentice, and she looks even happier than when Klahadore was taking care of her. You love to see progress. Man, 5 pirates wreak that much havoc, but then again, 4 pirates wreak that much havoc at Arlong Park. Yes, we were all here to see it. Chapter 134, Dr. Kureha.
What? You know Wapol?
Do we ever? That's the pirate that attacked our ship. But I chased him off. Actually, I remember him saying something about the Drum Kingdom.
Yes, I remember him clearly now. When I was a child, my father took me to a meeting of kings and I met him there.
Meeting of kings.
A meeting of kings? Just who are...
Oh, I mean, anyway, I met this Wapol. It was yesterday on our way here.
Is that so?
What's going on here? This country was defeated, but the king's not only alive, he's turned pirate.
The pirate part is a cover. Wapol is scouring the seas in search of this island.
Then those men on the ship were soldiers that the pirates defeated and drove off the island?
Defeated? That's a laugh. When the pirates arrived, Wapol's army didn't even attempt to fight.
Huh?
But believe it or not, when they saw the pirates' strength, they abandoned this nation to its fate. They fled like rats from a sinking ship. Wapol escaped to the sea, and the country lost hope.
that their own king would.
How could a king do such a thing?
And Vivi gets immediately upset at the fact that Wapple turned tail and ran and left all of his own citizens behind.
Vivi, it's despicable for a king to abandon his people.
Literally what I just said. You're right, but now Wapple's evil reign is over. This island belongs to those of us who remain. The towns and villages are beginning to recover. Right now, we're reunited and trying to build a new nation, which is why we fear Wapple's return more than anything. Until we're able to rebuild our country, the restoration of the monarchy is the thing to be feared most. We want to build a new, peaceful nation. And then it cuts to the wind howling, and it cuts to Luffy. It cuts to Luffy and Sanji in the woods, just making their way towards the mountaintop where Dr. Kurehata resides. It's getting colder. The wind's picking up.
Why aren't you wearing socks? Just looking at you makes my feet hurt.
It's my police.
Police? Do you mean policy?
So he has a policy, a own personal policy where he doesn't change his shoes and just wears nothing but sandals. Interesting.
Police? You mean policy?
And then it cuts to a creature that gets in front of Luffy and company. Yeah, that. By the way, did you know that people who live in snow countries don't sleep?
Huh? Why not?
Well, if they fall asleep, they'll die.
That's ridiculous. Everybody has to sleep.
It's true. I heard it a long time ago from someone. And then this big creature, which turns out to be a giant rabbit with majorly sharp teeth, launches itself at Sanji and Luffy, but they just casually dodge around it and continue their conversation.
Did Usopp tell you that?
Nope, I heard it in a village tavern. And every time this little rabbit keeps trying to bite Sanji and company, they just keep dodging out of the way, but they just keep ignoring it, like Saitama does with literally everyone in the entire One Punch Man series.
Then why did Dalton have a bed in his house?
Oh wait, nope, I heard it in a village tavern.
Then why did Dalton have a bed in his house?
Oh, you're right, that must be his deathbed.
You idiot!
And it cuts to this rabbit trying to bite them and trying to lunge at them, and it lunges at a tree, and it bites the tree in half.
Did you know this? Snow country women have silky smooth skin.
How come?
Isn't it obvious? When it's cold, you rub your skin like this, right? That makes it soft and smooth.
Smooth, translucent white skin?
That's smooth, translucent white skin. That's snow country women for you.
I wonder what makes it white. And it just cuts to Luffy and Sanji just dodging all of these attacks from the rabbits, and they're not even paying it any mind. And then the rabbit gets mad and upset, and it lunges towards Sanji again, and Sanji's going, the color of the snow gets absorbed into the skin naturally. You know, I never knew you were so stupid.
You're calling me stupid? Anyway, I'm getting tired of this!
And as he says he's getting tired of it because the rabbit just tries to rush him again, and Sanji just with the full force of his foot punt kicks, field goal kicks the little rabbit into the distance.
I'm getting tired of this!
What was that thing anyway?
Just hang on, Nami. We'll get you to a doctor.
And then it cuts to them getting deeper and deeper into the woods. It's really snowing hard up here.
Luffy, try to step more lightly. You're jostling Nami.
Huh?
What are they?
They're big and white, so they must be polar bears. Yeah, that's it. It's actually giant rabbits, including a small rabbit on the shoulder of one of them.
I wonder if they're all right. I hope they don't encounter any lapins.
And they call it Lapin in the Japanese dub, but in Japanese sub. But I'm just gonna call them the way they're called here.
I wonder if they're all right. I hope they don't encounter any lapins.
Even if they're carnivorous, they're still just rabbits. Right?
Yes, rabbits as big as bears with the quickness of rabbits that attack in packs.
What? Bears?
The landscape gives off revenant and hateful 8 vibes. It really does. It really does. Yeah, you're right, Psycho. That little rabbit had the Energizer Bunny levels of energy. It just keeps going and going, but in this case, it just keeps lunging and lunging and lunging.
I hope they're all right. Are they really that big? all done. All done. I hear you're looking for the doctor.
That's right, but they just took the patient.
I heard, but the witch is over in the next town right now.
What?
And then everyone is just taken aback finding out that the witch is in the next town, not at the mountaintop. Which means that Luffy and Sanji are heading to a location where the person they're looking for isn't even there. And then it cuts to a distance. Oh, Captain Wapple!
What is it, Chess?
Oh, that's his name.
Captain Wapple! What is it, Chess? Do you see their ship? Do you see their ship?
No, Captain Wapple, but we're finally home. We've finally come home.
What? How many long, hard months has it been? It's our home! It's Drum Island!
It's our home! It's Drum Island!
Are you sure?
Then we cut to the neighboring town of Cocoweed.
Ah!
Hey, shopkeeper, give me a break.
And hey, shopkeeper, give me a break. Shut that kid up, I can't take it. I'm sorry. What's wrong, Tama? Where does it hurt? If you keep crying, I can't understand you and you're bothering the customers.
And the kid is just steadily crying.
Tama, what's wrong? If you don't stop crying, I'll lock you outside.
Oh, dear. Did you hear that, Chopper? A child that won't stop crying has something wrong with its body. We've got a bad father here. This is the shop. Stand back.
And then it cuts to someone bursting open the doors going,
I'm coming in. Where's this sick child?
Dr. Kureha, master physician, 139 years old. And then we have Tony Chopper, Dr. Kureha's beloved reindeer. So the way Dr. Kureha looks is like she has like a very slim, young-looking body with like a navel ring, but she physically in the face, she is just Mother Teresa's levels of wrinkles.
Dr. Kureha! The secret of my youthful appearance?
No, I didn't ask that. I can't believe that old biddy is really 140 years old.
I'm only 139 years old. Shall I cure him?
Huh? Cure him of what? This child isn't sick.
Are you a doctor?
And then the dude is all like,
Let's go, Chopper.
Hey, wait!
My arm hurts. Your arm, eh? How's this? Now my leg hurts. See? You forgot all about the pain in your arm, didn't you?
As it cuts to her pinching the kid's leg to get him distracted from his arm.
What are you doing?
All right. Are you sick? All right. Are you sick? All right, stay still. I barely touched your leg. Your arms and legs are tender. You don't have a fever, but there's swelling in the affected area. A festering inflammation. You have bacteria in your bones. Chopper, get the antibiotic.
Doctor, my child.
This disease has to be caught early or there's no hope of survival. Don't worry, he's going to be fine. But he would have died for sure.
Huh? He would have died?
I'm going to make a small incision now.
And then the kid is screaming,
Ah!
Hey, can't you at least give him a painkiller?
Okay, now for the injection. Get ready.
And then it cuts to Tony Chopper in the background hitting the kid from the back, apparently injecting him.
Don't be so
rough.
There, all done. My medicine is very effective. Just keep the leg bandaged for a while. If it gets stiff, put ice on it, understand?
Huh?
And for payment, let me see. I'm running low on garbage bags and toilet paper. And rum, and I'll take whatever food you have. Oh, and I'll take half of this shop's assets. Chopper, load the sleigh.
What? I can't give you half of my assets. Don't fall for that shopkeeper. Don't fall for that shopkeeper. She's cheating you. Almost died. What a laugh. He was just crying because he fell down. She only pretended to cure him. Isn't that right? Well, you take advantage of people's weaknesses, you senile old woman.
And then Chopper stares down this one civilian who's talking down to Dr. Correa.
Chopper, down, boy. They're just prattling children. Grandma, it feels much better. Thank you. What a sweet tip. I'll only take 49% now.
I'll pay you. Thank you.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody.
And then it cuts to Dr. Correa walking out of the building.
What did I just do now? Don't what I just did now. Don't ever forget it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 134. Onwards to 135, Lappins. We got one more chapter after this, and then we're done for the day. Django's Dance Paradise, Volume 8, the East Blue's most popular destination, Mirrorball Island. And then it cuts to someone going,
Forgive me. I made a mistake. I got word that the doctor had come down from the mountain yesterday, so I didn't think she'd come again so soon.
And this is Dalton in like a goat-pulled carriage carrying both Usopp and Vivi.
But I was wrong.
It's okay. It wasn't your fault.
Those two took off in such a hurry. It's not going to be easy to catch up with them.
If the doctor's here in Cocoa Weed, we'll just have to ask her to return to her castle.
Let's hope she'll do it.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
If only this country had more doctors.
There's no need to apologize, Dalton.
And then it cuts to Dalton going past a sign that goes Bighorn in one location, which is the location they just came from, and then Cocoa Weed in the other.
Let's hurry.
And then it cuts to a giant rabbit, one of the Lappins, jumping in the air. It's flying! And then it tries to claw at both Sanji and Luffy.
I can't believe it. Did you see that move? Is it some kind of gorilla?
No, they're polar bears!
No, they're rabbits.
But you just said they were gorillas!
They must be Lappins. Those things Dalton told us about. Crap, there's a lot of them.
And it is a lot of them. It's like a whole army. Like, it's a whole herd of Lappins just facing down Luffy and Sanji. There's so many, I can't even count them in the back. There's so many.
Those things are well adapted to the snow country. If they can move around like that, we're at a big disadvantage. Listen, Luffy, don't try to fight them.
Why not?
If you mix it up with them, every blow you give or take will be felt by Nami. She'll die, I'm serious.
Then it cuts to one of the Lappins that growls at them and roars at them.
I got it. I won't fight.
But he can dodge out of the way. But what am I supposed to do?
Just dodge. Dodge them and run. And don't fight.
That's gonna be hard!
Flanshell Flayer!
And then it cuts to Sanji, who's doing the fighting, as he launches one of the Lappins in the back.
Crap, I can't even do a decent kick with all this snow around my feet. They're coming all at once!
As it shows all the Lappins jumping at Luffy and company. Just massively. Just like in like a big old cascade of giant rabbits.
I'll cover you. Run for the woods. We'll have to try and shake them. It'll be dark before I could beat up so many.
And as this is going on, it cuts to Luffy, who's preparing to hit another Lappin, but Sanji stops him as he goes,
"No! Idiot! I told you to let me handle them.
Sorry!
This is serious!"
And it cuts to Sanji as he's the only one defending Luffy and Nami away from the Lappins as Luffy continues to run through the forest. Sanji, look! We can get up that way!
Okay, you go ahead.
And then it cuts to Luffy and Sanji using some Lappins as stepping stones and jumping off of them to get to a higher area.
Here they come!
Just run! All the way to the top! Then it cuts to Wapple's ship as it lands at the front of Drum Island.
We're here, my dear Drum Kingdom. These guards were too slow.
What were they thinking shooting at us?
Unchanging, ever beautiful nature. Chess, is my castle intact?
Oh, great. There's a security tab right here. Why? Why is it right over dialogue? I thought I was free from security tabs. Oh. Ooh. Not too quick. Not too quick. See, with these types of stickers, it is far too risky to try and take them off like a band-aid, because you could wind up taking off some ink and some very important pages as well. Got it. Got it. Whew. I hate security tabs in my volumes. But it didn't do any damage to the page, and the images are intact. Thank God.
Unchanging, ever beautiful nature. Chess, is my castle intact? It hasn't changed, your majesty. Then on to the castle, my dear castle. I'm no longer a pirate. I am a king once again. Onward, Robson! Onward, Robson! There. Are you still upset because I killed your brothers? Well, stop moping. This is a glorious occasion.
Robson White Walkie, alias Woolly Hippo.
This is a glorious occasion. Yes, really.
And then Robson just nods in accordance to Wapple. King Wapple, I have news!
What is it?
It's the ship of those pirates we met yesterday, over there on the riverbank.
What? Those straw hats are in my kingdom? I won't forget what they did to me. How I suffered! Kill them all!
But there's no one on board. We don't know where they are. Then it cuts to Chess going,
Worthless fools. Upon inspection of the footprints leading from the ship,
We believe they're headed for Bighorn.
Chess, former Drum Kingdom evil chief of staff. And then we have Kuromarimo, former Drum Kingdom evil magistrate. So we get the names of both these individuals, even though Chess was the one who was mentioned the most.
So you two think you're geniuses? Then let's go to Bighorn and fire a salute to mark the restoration of Drum Kingdom!
Then we get to Cocoa Weed. Huh? She left town?
She left town? No way! We just missed her! She made me a little better a while ago.
Are you looking for the doctor, Dalton?
It's an emergency. Do you know which way she went?
I heard someone say she was heading for Giasta.
Giasta?
Where's that?
It's a lakeside town just north of here. They like to ice skate there.
Let's go. We've come this far. There's no time to waste.
Dalton! Is Dalton here?
What's wrong? You're supposed to be on guard.
All the other guards are dead! A submersible ship suddenly appeared out of the sea and its crew killed everybody. Dalton, please save us! We need your strength!
Calm down. Who killed him?
Wappo! He's back! And everybody stops in their tracks.
Wapple! Where is he now?
The village! Bighorn's in danger! Hey, Dalton!
I'll settle this. Justice is not what I'm after. You and I are guilty of the same sin. Just you wait, Wapple.
And as this is going on, while he's thinking this to himself, Dalton starts to change, and he turns into an animal. He turns into an animal and jumps off of his horse and goes on all fours and makes his way towards Bighorn. But that is the end of chapter 135. I know for a fact I can get this chapter done before my family comes home with food. Onwards to the last chapter of volume 15, chapter 136, A Man Named Dalton. Django's Dance Paradise, volume 9, the Navy! As it cuts to Django walking through the streets, but also across from him, a Navy officer is holding up a wanted poster for Django with his 9 million berry bounty. And it cuts to the Lapins, who are jumping up and down. What are they doing? As it cuts to Luffy and Sanji. What are they doing?
I thought they'd given up, but they're doing something up ahead. No. Wait a minute. They can't be.
And then it cuts to Bighorn. Everyone who can fight, grab a weapon and head for Bighorn. Oh wait, this is still back at Cocoa Weed. Everyone who can fight, grab a weapon and head for Bighorn. Hurry! Everyone who can fight, on to Bighorn. Follow Dalton. Wobble is back. Take up arms and fight. We must defend our country. Get your weapons. On to Bighorn. And then it cuts back to Usopp and Vivi, who are using the same goat-drawn carriage that Dalton took him on. And his name is spelled Django. His name is spelled... you say it Django. And his name is spelled Django. There's actually... Wait a minute. But it's spelled with a D, though. Django's name is spelled with a D. Or is it with just... Wait. Is it not spelled? Oh, it doesn't have a D. But here in the volume, it has a D in front of his name. Is that specific to the manga? Hold on, I'm checking. Yeah. Okay. So, officially, his name is Django, spelled D Django with a D. Is spelled Django with a D in front. For the Viz, 4Kids, and Funimation subs. But the Funimation dub is the one that calls him Django without the D. So that's the difference. So it's spelled right. It's spelled with a D in the manga and the subs and the 4Kids dub, but in the regular Funimation dub, with Colleen Klinkenbeard and all the other voice actors, he's just Django with a J. Interesting. Yeah. But oddly enough, they call him Django with a D when it's called Django's Dance Paradise, Volume 9, Awe of the Navy, but they don't include the D on the Wanted poster. Maybe they don't know how to spell it. Maybe. But we cut back to Usopp and Vivi, because I need to hurry. Usopp and Vivi as they're riding through the forest.
Vivi, are you sure this is the way to Gyasta? Where's this witch supposed to be?
Not as sure as I'd like to be.
That's not very reassuring. Listen, if Nami makes it to the castle and the doctor isn't there, what are they gonna do, huh? You're a princess, aren't you? Do something, so do something.
Princesses don't know everything. Look at the map, Usopp.
Are you crazy? This whole island is covered in snow.
Weren't you listening? Somewhere along the line, there's a sign that says Gyasta. We can't miss it.
Okay, leave it to me.
And they just ride past the sign that says Gyasta as they go in the opposite location of it. And then it cuts to Wapol, who's just eating.
Delicious! Hear me, my people! Everything in this country is my candy! Tell me why I am so great, Kuro Marimo!
Because you are King Wapol, your majesty.
Exactly! And I prefer my houses cooked well done!
I have a report, King Wapol, about those impudent Straw Hats. They're headed for Drum Castle.
What? Why?
Well, it seems the traitor Dr. Kureha had the audacity to occupy your castle.
What? That old hag is in my castle? How far will she go to humiliate me, that old rebel crone? I'll hunt them down, the Straw Hats and that witch, and devour them! Men, make ready!
I almost got taken aback by one section of this panel where I thought that his mouth was opening wide and he was eating something, but no, that was just the back of his saddle.
We're returning to my castle!
Hold it right there!
As someone flies in the air and cuts Wapol across the chest. And it's Dalton!
Who are you?
And Chess just looks on, and it's Dalton. It's Dalton, who he just straight up shows up cuts Wapple across the chest, and then just stands there. Ah!
He slashed me! I'm going to die!
Dalton! Go ahead and die. I came here to kill you.
Huh? Dalton?
So you're still alive!
How dare you attack King Wapple? That should be no problem in the great medical land of Drum, with its elite doctors and their superior medical skills. You are right. 20 doctors, external injury squad, to the fore!
We will begin the operation.
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 Scalpel. Needle. Steel plate. Hammer.
And in that instance, they basically, apparently, heal Wapple.
Whew, I really thought I was going to die.
King Wapple, wait! We haven't reattached your head!
Huh?
Wapple, let's go! We don't belong here anymore.
Wapple? You will address me as King Wapple! King! You are my vassal, Dalton!
Dalton's not your vassal anymore. He's the only one of your ministers who stayed to defend this country. He risked his life. He almost died.
Huh, he should have died then. He was the commander of the Drum Kingdom militia. I'm surprised he managed to survive without any doctor around.
Outsiders used to think of this as a land of advanced medical science, but little did they know that there are only 20 doctors here and they all worked in the castle research laboratory. All the other doctors were expelled from the country.
Couldn't be helped. That's politics.
That's bad governance. With every doctor in the whole country in your castle, the sick had to beg you for medical treatment. Instead of caring for your people, you held the sick of the nation hostage. That is a crime. You don't need to heed your words at all.
You don't heed your words at all, do you? Kill him, men! Kill your former commander!
And then Dalton starts to transform in front of Wapple and company.
You are the son of the former king to whom I am indebted. I'd hope that one day you come to your senses, but you never will.
Ah, there it is! The ox fruit bison model!
Just shoot him! Just shoot him!
And then Dalton, in his ox form, dodges all the shots as they all try to fire at him. We can't hit him! He's too fast!
I will spare no one, not even my former soldiers. Fiddle, bam!
And with a massive hand slam to the ground, like a palm slam, he slams the ground and causes every single soldier to be flipped upside down and embedded in the snow.
What power! Like a hurricane. That's the devil fruit of the Zoan family.
He's a wild animal! Ah, so we have a mention of the Zoan class for the very first time.
I'm sick of you people. A country whose king runs off at the first sign of danger is better off without him.
Huh, that despicable traitor.
Once we were equals. They called us the three officers. You have no chance against the two of us.
We've known each other a long time, unfortunately for you. Because we know your weakness.
As it shows Chess putting arrows in his bow, and he aims, but not at Dalton.
Just watch!
As there are people running in behind Dalton. And that's where Chess is aiming.
What?
Dalton! We'll fight too! Huh? And before anything happens, Dalton is in front of all the civilians, who takes all three of those massive arrows to the chest in order to keep the civilians from getting harmed. Dalton!
They are your weakness, kind Dalton. What a fitting end for you!
And then Dalton just slumps over. And Dalton falls. Dalton! And then there's rumbling.
What is it? An earthquake?
And then it cuts to Usopp and Vivi.
The snow's so thick, the sleigh won't move.
We must be very high now.
Huh?
What's that rumbling?
They've gone and done it, those darn rabbits.
No way.
Sanji, what's wrong?
We're getting out of here, Luffy.
Where to?
Anywhere but here.
Avalanche!
avalanche! Because the Lapins were jumping up and down over and over and over again, causing an avalanche to happen directly in front of Sanji and Luffy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final chapter of volume 15 of One Piece. Give me one quick moment to help bring my family in the food, and then I'll give you my last final words. I'll be right back. All right, to everyone that's here, sorry to keep you waiting. We are done with volume 15 of One Piece. I got food in the other room, so I'm going to eat that, and then I'm going to be anticipating the PlayStation Showcase at 4 o'clock. I'll be playing Tears of the Kingdom in between that. I'm just exploring, looking for stuff, and, you know, trying to find some more health and more Koroks so I can increase my inventory size. But we're done with One Piece. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on Drum Island, and now we are facing off against an avalanche because of the Lapins who are trying to kill both Luffy and Sanji. And now we also have Wapol, who's already making his mark by shooting up Dalton and trying to take back his so-called kingdom. So many things we learned today. Like I said, I'm experiencing these chapters for the very first time. So even if I watched some episodes in the past on like the 4Kids dub or whatever, this is my first time reading these chapters, you know, before they're edited for TV. So overall, I'm enjoying every single moment of me reading this. The fact that I'm getting closer and closer to being halfway through that shelf. Because once we get past that shelf, I would consider the secondary shelf like the grand stretch. Because once I get past that secondary shelf, it's only 2 more volumes on the 3rd shelf, and then I'm done with my entire One Piece series read-through, reading every single one of these volumes. It's going to take a little bit of time, but needless to say, I'm enjoying myself experiencing this story, learning about all these different things that I never knew before, so I can proudly say at the end of the day when I'm done, I have read every single chapter of One Piece. And I am incredibly grateful that I'm able to share this with all of you. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier, and because I'm aiming for 100,000 subscribers, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples! I'll see you guys at the PlayStation Showcase at 4 o'clock.